Hey guys, welcome back to Dark Souls 3. In the last part, we finished off the Grand Archives, and we made it to this final shortcut. There's actually one more shortcut after this one, but that's fine. Because of this part, we're going to be exploring the last bit of LOTHRIC Castle, which isn't even really part of the castle. It's more or less just a walkway outside that leads up into the main building itself, which is where the boss room is. And hopefully we'll also be fighting our boss in this episode too, because I'd like to do that. Um, but before we go that way, we're going to come up here because there's another Estus shard over in this area that we can get ourselves before fighting the boss. Should probably be very useful. Uh, you know, just going to go out on a limb and say having more Estus is useful. When you come through this area, these gold winged knights that are up on the roof up there that you can barely see, they're going to drop down and they're going to attack you. Multiple of them are going to attack you at a time. I would not recommend you fight these guys because they are very challenging and they will do a lot of damage to you. In addition to having a shitload of poise and everything else, and it's not a fun time fighting these guys because you won't be able to really fight them one-on-one. But if you have the report spell, the report spell, however you pronounce it, if you have that pyromancy spell, you can actually like mind control one of them when they drop down, and then you can make that one mind controlled winged knight fight the other ones. And get yourself some free souls, because believe it or not, these winged knights are actually really good like soul farming spot. If you do it right, you can get like probably, I don't really remember how many it is, but you can get a lot of souls for killing them. The Divine Pillars of Light is a miracle. I believe it is similar to like, it's kind of similar to Firestorm, but it's like a miracle instead, and the pillars come out of the sky instead of out of the ground. And if they hit enemies, they will deal knockback damage. It'll do a decent amount of damage too, but I would not say it is a very great miracle or one of the best miracles by any stretch of the imagination. You can drop down through here onto these awnings, come down here and get yourself some chests. If you do come down here, you'll have to go back to like the bonfire. Or you'll have to drop down through like one of these windows over here and go all the way back around. I'm probably going to show off that one area that I didn't go to last time, just so you guys can see what items you can get from over there. And then once we get those items, I'll probably use my coiled sword fragment to just teleport back to the bonfire, and we'll continue this area. Yeah, this area down here is what I didn't explore last time. Oh, fuck. I did not intend to do that. Alright. I was going to pick them off from a distance with my pyromancy and then equip my silver cat ring to absorb the fall damage. But yeah, coming down here, you can get yourself a hollow gem. And then right out here is another titanite chunk you can get. But that's really all that's over here, so if you want to get some extra upgrade materials or infusion materials, you should probably do that. Opening myself a nice Dr. Pepper here. One of the best sodas, in my opinion. if you guys are soda drinkers, I would I would highly recommend it. Talking about soda like it's a fucking strategy guide or some shit. The strategy guide to soda drinking with Pie Man. Rule number 1: don't drink RC Cola. Okay, now we're gonna come up here and make our way to the boss room. Shouldn't be too hard. There are a lot of guys waiting to ambush us here with these barricades. Kind of similar to like the first world in Demon Souls. How there are a bunch of hollows and undead just that have barricades in front of them, waiting for you to come up. It's kind of funny. Okay. Wow, that did not one-hit him. What in the fuck? I must just have to upgrade my intelligence more, because that should have one-shot him, man. I would like to use some of my mana for the boss fight, but at the same time, I don't want to die to these guys. So I am going to try to thin them out a little bit here. How did you survive that? The other one died in 2 hits. Now you hung on with like 2 health. How does that make sense? Fucking got the fucking the undead Iron Man over here. Anyway. Right up here you're gonna have 2 more LOTHRIC Knights with spears and shields, and then another one behind them with a great sword. What I would recommend you do for this is run past them. And then run into this little doorway here on the right. And take this elevator down. Because this elevator is another shortcut. This elevator will lead us directly back to where the boss room for the Dragon Slayer armor was. Which means we will be able to get ourselves to and from the boss room to this Lord of Cinder fairly quickly. Another secret, this elevator is a lot like that elevator in the Road of Sacrifices. Not the Road of Sacrifices, the Undead Settlement. In that you can wait for this elevator to come up, and then you can ride it down, all the way down here, where there is an item that is a Titanite slab, and I, for obvious reasons, would highly recommend you get that, because it is the upgrade material you need to get something to its max level. We might actually go back to Firelink real quick, just so we can max out our Pyromancy Flame. Why aren't you activating? There we go. But yeah. Overall, I think LOTHRIC Castle is one of the coolest areas in this game. I wish this game wasn't so linear, and that you're kind of forced to come through this area last. You can't really explore this area until after you beat the 3rd Lord of Cinder. But there are mods that will let you fight them in any order you want, which is kind of cool. I'm recording this on the PlayStation, so I can't do that. Anyway, we can open this door now. This will lead directly into the boss room. And we won't even have to fight these guys, because they are kind of annoying. And you don't want to fight them unless you absolutely have to, because they can take quite a bit of your health bar with their attacks. I'm pretty sure there is an NPC you can summon to help you with this boss fight. I'm going to go into Embered form just to see what the NPC is. No guarantees I'll actually summon the NPC, though. Unless it's, like, an important NPC. I don't think it is, though. Edge. Siren. Okay, so those are players, obviously. So I guess we don't have any NPCs, but that's fine. Because this boss, I don't think I need help for this boss, and being in embered form would at least keep me alive a little. We're definitely gonna equip our magic stone plate ring though, since this boss does use magic attacks. But anyway, another boss I'm gonna mute my microphone for because I love the music and I think it's a really well designed boss fight. And it's just better to show it off than explain it to you guys. So hope you guys enjoy it. And here we go.
Oh dear. Another dogged contender. Welcome, unkindled one, purloiner of cinders. Mind you, the mantle of Lord interests me none. The fire-linking curse, the legacy of lords, let it all fade into nothing. You've done quite enough. Now have your rest. Dear brother, I'm on my way. My brother, unyielding sword of Lothric's prince. Rise if you would, for that is our curse.
That was LOTHRIC, the Elder Prince. And I think this is the very first boss fight in the game, in my playthrough so far, where I've actually died to a boss. I've died to plenty of regular enemies throughout the game, but I don't think I've ever died to a single boss in this playthrough yet. Which is strange, because it's usually the other way around for most people. A very cool boss fight. Basically twins. One was made to be a Lord of Cinder, but he was cursed with the ability to never walk because he's like paralyzed from the waist down. And his younger brother, the younger prince, is the one with like the magical abilities to sort of bring him back to life. And the whole purpose to your fighting him is the fact that they decided to abandon the throne. They decided to abandon their duty to the throne as a Lord of Cinders, and they've decided to just let the world be enshrouded in darkness instead of doing their duty to save it. So that's sort of what this boss fight is all about, and it's really, really awesome. But hopefully we will have better luck this time. In any case, enjoy the fight. Enjoy the fight, guys.
Marks our grave. You may rest here too, if you like.
I was going to use an ember to heal myself after he finished attacking me, but he didn't stop attacking me, so I just died again. Oh well. We're actually going to go back to Dragon Slayer Armor's boss arena, because the elevator shortcut to the boss fight is actually much closer to this bonfire. In hindsight, I probably shouldn't have taken this bonfire, or I probably shouldn't have fast traveled here, because the bonfire for this is literally, you can literally see the bonfire to the Grand Archives from here. Like, that's how close these two bonfires are. I don't really know why From Software put them that close. I don't know what they were thinking. I think there are plenty of other areas in the game that deserve bonfire placement better than this shit, but I digress. We'll try this boss fight again, guys. I'm sorry I'm sort of failing at this. It's honestly not really that hard of a boss fight either. His attack patterns are very easily telegraphed. You just sort of... Oh, god damn it. You just sort of have to, you know what you're doing and shit. I mistakenly took the elevator down. I think I'm actually just going to teleport back. Because now that I've sent the elevator down, I should just be able to ride it up after I teleport back to the bonfire. God damn it. But yeah, sorry about this, guys. This boss fight usually isn't very hard for me. It is actually one of the easier Lords of Cinder. Yeah, his main gimmick is that in his second phase, his brother can continuously bring him back to life. There is no limit on how many times he can bring his elder brother back to life. So in the second phase of the fight, you sort of have to target the younger prince, because he is the only one that really needs to die. Once you kill him, his elder brother dies, and you win the fight. Anyway, I'll mute my microphone again. We'll try this shit again. Sorry, guys. Better luck this time, I suppose. And that was the Twin Princes. Glad I was able to get it on my third try. I was worried this would take up the rest of the episode, if not more. One of the coolest boss fights in this game. With the defeat of the Twin Princes, all that remains is the final boss. We now have all the Lords of Cinder defeated, and we can now take the fight to the final one. But as you might imagine, with all Souls games, there are many, many other things we can do before we take on the final boss. And one such thing for us to do is go to an optional area and fight the hardest optional boss in this entire game. If I can beat the hardest optional boss on the first try, but not the Twin Princes, then I don't know what's wrong with me. But I digress. We got the Twin Prince's soul, and with it, we are now able to make either LOTHRIC's Holy Sword, a decent quality straight sword, with minor faith scaling. But this attack will pretty much release that magic effect that you saw during the boss fight with its weapon art. So it's pretty cool for that. And you can also get Lorien's Greatsword, which has... scaling is pretty much all over the place, and it also has fire damage. So, and then this is like conversely to the Young Prince's weapon art. This one will give it like make it do that fire attack with its weapon art. So, both of those weapons are really good. Once again, we're not going to be using any of it though. So we'll just take the extra souls for leveling up.
Very well then.
And with our level ups, we will work a little more on buffing our pyromancy damage. As you can see there, our damage is still increasing by a pretty major amount here. Like 9 damage. 9 extra damage on our pyromancy flame. And 5 extra damage on our Moonlight Greatsword with only 3 levels.
Well, Ashen One, maybe.
We also picked up an Estus shard, so let me remember to use that before we go to the optional area. I believe that's actually, yep. We actually have the max amount of Estus now. Max amount you can have in this game is 15. I think 12 and 3 is still fine. If you're more of a sorcery-oriented or magic-oriented character, like more so than me, then you might want to have like 10 and 5, or even like 5 and 10. But for me, I think 12 and 3 is just fine, because I'm more of a spell sword. And I do prefer to have more regular healing than ashen healing. So there you go. We also picked up that Titanite slab, so we can upgrade our Pyromancy Flame to its max level. Boom. Just like that. And that's pretty much it for the Pyromancy Flame. It's at plus 10 now. And it is doing its max possible damage. Although I believe there is a way to get a more upgraded version of the flame beyond plus 10, but I don't remember how to do that. So, for anyone who does know about that kind of stuff, I'll leave it to you to figure that out. Because I am very knowledgeable of this game. I am a veteran of the Souls series after all. But that does not mean I know everything. I never will know everything. But before we end this episode off, I think we are going to go to the optional area and get our first bonfire. We may go over the time limit a little bit, and I apologize for that. It's just I don't really want to leave things on a cliffhanger, since we did die several times to the Twin Princes, and I would like to sort of make up for that a little bit. Now, you do need the Path of the Dragon emote in order to get here. And to get the Path of the Dragon emote, you need to fight Osiris. You don't have to fight Champion Gundyr, but you do have to take that side path in the Consumekin's Garden to fight Osiris. But what you want to do is sit right next to this dragon guy right here and use the emote on this rug. Yeah, don't ask me how that cutscene makes any sense whatsoever. But after that cutscene ends, you will be in this new area. And this is, in my opinion, the hardest optional area in the game. There are 2 optional bosses in this area, and one is considered the hardest boss in the game. This is Archdragon Peak. If you played Dark Souls 2, you will recognize the name of this area, since I believe Archdragon Peak, or I don't remember if it was called Archdragon Peak or Dragon's Eyrie, but in Dark Souls 2, there was an area very similar to this. So, I guess there's some nostalgia there for you, if you're into that sort of thing. We won't be exploring this area much today. We will just be getting to our first bonfire, which is right over here. And afterwards, we will end the episode off. So yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching. We defeated the final Lord of Cinder, and now before we take on the final boss, we are going to take on the hardest optional area in the game, and with it, the hardest optional boss in the game. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I will see you next time.